Ladies and gentlemen, so I've been in the Web3 gaming ecosystem for quite some time, and I was planning on making a video on the top 5 crypto games, and more than that, just the top 5 gaming ecosystems in the entire space. These are games that I'm looking forward to. These are just opportunities that I can get into that seem like they're a lot of fun. In fact, while I'm doing this, I'd like to actually just show you some gameplay of Champions Arena. It's actually my first time playing this, and I wanted to touch base on this video because of the fact that I wanted to make a point here that I feel like Gala games, a lot of people give me slack for, some of the things that the Gala team has done. And I'm absolutely not here to really justify the whole economy side of things. But in terms of the games, there is no denying that they've really got top talent building out this kind of stuff. I've seen a lot of different crypto games that people constantly talk about where they're like, oh, this is a crypto game and it's going to be the next Dark Souls, or this is going to be the next, World of Warcraft. I disagree. I think that a lot of the games that are being built out here are actually pretty trash. But the thing is, Gala Games has done an exceptional job of getting talent that can actually make good games. As you can see here, this is gameplay of Champions Arena, and Champions Arena looks pretty cool. This is a game, it's an alpha, it's not fully released right now, and it's still very early on. I do believe it might be coming out this year. Don't, correct me if I'm wrong here, but it is a pretty cool game, and this is a game that when you look at it, you could tell that it's pretty solid quality. It's not like when you look at this and you look at most crypto games and you're just like, oh, it's just another one of those trash titles. No, this is genuinely a good game that you could get into now, that you could go ahead and try out and have a good experience. And I've been having this conversation because of the fact that I've been kind of looking into some of these games and realizing that there isn't much to them. Now, there are some very talented gaming studios building out games, and that's awesome. But when you're trying to disrupt an industry, you can't just make things that are good. You have to make things that are exceptional, and making an exceptional game, it comes in multiple ways. But one of the big things that I've been looking at in terms of Gala is the rate of progress in the ecosystem, the amount of games that have been coming out, the amount of cool stuff that's been coming out. And I wholeheartedly believe that at this point, Champions Arena, for example, is looking better than Summoner's War. Summoner's War is a legacy title in the gacha space, and this being a very similar game in nature, it just looks pretty damn good. This is because we have a Korean studio making the impossible happen, and this is the case with many of the different games in the Gala ecosystem. When I was looking at some of the other ecosystems in our space, I kind of struggled to find something that genuinely looked really cool and really fun. So, to have Gala at this point where they have a bunch of different titles that look really cool, for example, you can see Leopold is doing his little thing here. He's always at your service. He's got his passives. What every gacha game has, right? And they're just trying to make it with Web3 integration. And so, I think Gala is probably the best Web3 gaming ecosystem on the planet right now. And they're building out the best games right now. There's a good reason why I continue to cover this stuff, because I try to cover other games, and I feel like they're just not nearly as good. Just look at this game. You tell me, would you play this game if it was on your phone? This is a mobile game that we're talking about right now. If you had 10 minutes of your time, and you could only get into one of these battles, and you could only go ahead and grab your 3 favorite heroes, would you go ahead and play some Champions Arena? Maybe you decide that you don't feel like doing that. But that's the beauty of the situation. You don't have to play Champions Arena. There's 40 games that Gala is building out in their ecosystem. 40. And it's not like it's just 40 arcade games that, anybody can go ahead and build up with $5,000 in some time. It's these are some serious titles that are producing some serious games that are probably going to disrupt the industry in one way or another. In fact, I was looking into their pivot into mobile the other day, and I was like, okay, well, that makes a lot of sense. This is just, generally speaking, is a pretty good idea to do. And so, with that being said, let me know in the comment section, do you think, personally, Gala is the best, unequivocally, the best gaming ecosystem in Web3? At this point, if I'm looking just gameplay-wise, I do think there is no doubt in my mind that Gala has proven themselves to be the best gaming ecosystem in Web3. And if you don't believe me, which is perfectly fine to do, well, I have other things to show you. There are different games in this ecosystem. In fact, the game that I play the most, which is another game that's currently out, is called Spider Tanks, and Spider Tanks is really fun to me. They recently introduced their May Mayhem being the best event in all of Gala. They have the best rewards. They have the best of everything you can think of, and this is some showcase of Spider Tanks here. And I want to kind of just show you how cool and how fluid these games work, because it's really fluid. I mean, you can walk around, there's zero lag. If you want to actually go ahead and shoot, pew pew pew. Isn't that cool? So it looks like most other MOBAs look slick. It's got that 2023 vibe. And for a game, I swear, if this went mobile, this would be one of the largest games of our time integrating blockchain technology. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section in regards to all this. Just a little quick rant I wanted to go ahead and talk about. Till the next time, stay classy, and that's all.